Within the United Kingdom lies a myriad of mysterious tales passed through generations, from unexplained hauntings to grisly murders. It is with this in mind that we present this ode to those brave adventurers who search for ghosts with open minds and open hearts, and a chance for all of us to find proof that these supernatural mysteries exist. Take yourself on a wondrous journey across the hauntingly beautiful countryside, eerie, dense forests, and Gothic cathedrals of England, Wales, and Scotland. From tales of a cursed headless horseman to the ghostly Grey Lady, we've uncovered the best supernatural sightings to give us a front row seat to the other side. So join us as we embark on an exploration of paranormal activity in the UK, piecing together the clues behind the mysterious hauntings. Who knows what we will discover, but beware, the answers may be more spine-chilling than you may have expected. We begin with the Tower of London. The Tower of London is steeped in history, having been constructed in the 11th century. It is one of the most iconic and well-known landmarks in the world, and for more than 900 years, it has been home to royalty, nobility, and infamous prisoners. Throughout its history, countless events have occurred at the Tower of London, and as a result, it's often said to be haunted by numerous ghosts. From Anne Boleyn to Thomas Becket, there are numerous accounts of paranormal activity occurring at the tower, making it one of the most popular sites for ghost hunters. For centuries, tales of supernatural phenomena at the Tower of London have been rampant, and since it opened its doors in 1285, visitors have reported numerous ghost sightings and strange occurrences. From screams and voices to eerie shadows and sinister figures, it's not hard to see why people believe the Tower of London is haunted by numerous spirits. Perhaps one of the most famous ghost stories is that of Anne Boleyn, England's second queen consort. After she was sentenced to death by her husband, King Henry VIII, Anne Boleyn was placed in an upper chamber at the tower. Since then, there have been numerous reports of her ghost roams the corridors of the tower, especially near the area of her execution, the site in which she was beheaded and buried in an unmarked grave. Other accounts claim that you can often hear strange sobbings and cries of pain coming from the room where she was held captive. The other ghostly figure is that of Thomas Becket, a former Chancellor of England. He gained notoriety after he was assassinated in Canterbury Cathedral in 1170. Since his death, numerous people have claimed to have seen his apparition roaming the tower. Many have described him wearing long robes and carrying a candle in his hand, walking around in circles and staring forlornly into space. It's thought that he is looking for his assassin, searching for justice ever since his death. In addition to the two main ghosts, many other paranormal events are said taking place at the Tower of London. Numerous visitors to the tower have reported strange lights flickering from the windows and doors, accompanied by loud bangs and crashing sounds. Many people have claimed to have heard the sound of eerie organ music, and some have described seeing figures that resemble monks and priests. Other eerie accounts include the sighting of animals, such as a headless bear and a black dog, as well as apparitions of soldiers and the palace ladies. We now move on to Pluckley, a small village in Kent, which is thought to be the most haunted village in England. Local legends state that there are more than 12 different ghosts that haunt the area. These ghosts include a schoolmaster, a highwayman, a farmer, a screaming man, a red lady, and a white lady. The most frequently cited of these is the screaming man, although the red lady and the white lady also appear often. All of these entities are said to be harmless, but some people claim to have felt a chill in the air while in the vicinity of some of the ghosts. The origins of the ghosts are unclear, but certain elements of some of the stories suggest that they originate from the time of the English Civil War. Some of the tales recount how the villagers refused to take sides in the war, and two of the ghosts are said to be from opposing sides. One of the most famous tales from Pluckley tells of a local family who were believed to have been cursed for years. This family was known as the Doubleday Curse, and the story states that each male child born to the family was doomed to die while still a child or young adult. There is also a story of an old mill which was said to be haunted by a man who had been murdered while working there. The paranormal activity in Pluckley is not limited to ghosts. There have been reports of strange lights and noises, as well as poltergeist activity and even animal sightings. In fact, some people claim to have seen a large black dog, which some believe to be the ghost of a dog that belonged to one of the Doubleday Curse victims. Many people who have visited Pluckley testify to the eerie atmosphere that lingers in the village. They often state that the air is cold and the shadows are thick. Others tell of having an old feeling of unease when in certain spots, or feeling a presence near them. Some people find the feeling of unease when in certain spots unbearable. They would be wise to take some precaution, such as crossing themselves when passing the church, not to wander the village alone, and to be aware that some of those who inhabit the village could be a little less than friendly toward outsiders. Some people who have visited Pluckley say that the paranormal activity lessens when the sun sets. So nighttime is the best time for those looking to experience the hauntings in the village. And now we move on to the bizarre tale of Penga Castle, which has been shrouded in mystery and the paranormal since the 12th century, and is one of the most haunted places in Europe. Built in 1550, this ancient castle is located in Prossands in Cornwall, England. It is said that the walls of Penga Castle contain the secrets of ancient curses and hauntings. as well as the tales of spectral entities, eerie voices, and apparitions of the deceased. In 1750, William Penga inherited this castle from a wealthy Cornish family, and ever since then, the paranormal stories surrounding the castle have deepened. It is believed that his spirit now remains at the castle as a protector. The castle is said to be haunted by many ghosts and other supernatural entities. Many visitors and locals have recounted eerie events they have experienced here, such as the sound of spectral footsteps and the buzzing sound of an old electric motor reverberating through the castle. The most infamous ghost believed to haunt Penga Castle is the White Lady. She is said to appear after dark, often in the garden near the castle's main entrance. Some even report her to glide through the corridors and hallways of the castle. Witnesses describe her wearing a long white dress and with her long hair and flowing. It is said that those who encounter her feel a chill run through their bones and sense extreme fear. Another ghost said to haunt grounds of Penga Castle is the Lady Trelawney. It is believed that she was once a resident of the castle, and although no records exist of her existence, she is cited in numerous accounts of paranormal activity. She appears to be a friendly spirit, often pays visits to guests staying in the castle's rooms. While one might expect a ghost in an old castle to be frightening, Lady Trelawney is often perceived as peaceful and benevolent. The most chilling experience at Penga Castle, however, is the Groaning Lady. Seen haunting the corridors of the castle in broad daylight, locals are said to hear her wailing and sobs echoing around the castle. It is said that this spirit dates back to the 12th century and is believed to be the wife of one of Penga's original owners, an unnamed family member who is said to have lost their life at the castle. It is also home to an array of specters who guard the castle's ancient secrets, from the dark monk who is said to materialize in the chapel of the castle to the Grey Witch who is seen floating in the castle's upper levels. There are many mysterious creatures thought to inhabit this castle. It is thought that these spirits remain in the castle to watch over it and protect it from any malevolent forces. And so we turn to the ancient Ram Inn near Stroud, which is said to be haunted by a witch. The medieval inn is located near Stroud in Gloucestershire, England. It is well known for its history of paranormal activity and ghostly sightings. It dates back to the 12th century and was originally used as a coaching inn by the monks of Gloucester Cathedral. The most common ghost encounters in the inn have involved shadowy figures and deep guttural groans. Some visitors have also reported seeing apparitions wearing monks' robes, and others have heard disembodied voices. Other reported occurrences include cold spots, objects moving on their own, and strange sounds. Some people believe the paranormal activity is due to the fact that it was built on an ancient burial ground. There have also been reports of supernatural occurrences in the nearby woods. The woods are home to a campfire circle where visitors have reported seeing strange lights and hearing strange noises. Legend has it that the campfire circle was used for ritualistic activities and occult practices by ancient Druid worshippers. In addition to ghosts, the inn is said to be haunted by other supernatural entities. Visitors have reported the presence of witches, wraiths, and werewolves in the woods around the inn. There have also been reports of the sound of drums and other warning cries from the woods, probably a warning from the spectral guardians of the inn. We turn now to Hampton Court Place, where the ghosts of Catherine Howard, a former Queen of England, is said to haunt the palace. It has a long and mysterious history, with claims of paranormal activity that stretches back centuries. Located in Richmond upon the Thames, it is an important historical landmark which has stood witness to the comings and goings of royalty, nobility, and those of influence over the centuries. But beyond this, the palace has experienced strange happenings and paranormal activity that can only be described as supernatural encounters. The reports of paranormal activity at the palace reach far back into its past. One of the earliest accounts was made by Princess Elizabeth, the only surviving daughter of Henry VIII. She wrote of her concern over strange voices and the manifestation of a dark figure that followed her through her chambers and seemed to communicate directly with her. These ominous sightings have only increased in prevalence since then, with reports of a spectral woman known as the Grey Lady, along with a spectral cavalier, a ghostly drummer boy, and even the ghost of King Henry VIII himself walking the palace grounds. These stories are abundant and span centuries, with individuals claiming to have seen ghostly figures, heard strange sounds, and felt the presence of an entity in the palace that could not be explained by logical reasoning. We turn now to Chillingham Castle in Northumberland, which is said to be haunted by a number of ghosts. It is one of the most haunted castles in the United Kingdom and has an incredibly long and dark history, making it a popular destination for ghost hunters. The castle is a popular tourist attraction, but many people believe it is home to some of the most active paranormal entities and activities in the area. The first reported paranormal activity associated with the castle dates back to the 16th century, when workers reported smelling burning leather while they were working in the castle's great hall. Over the years, visitors have reported hearing strange noises and seeing ghostly figures in the castle grounds and hallways. Many believe that the most active entity in the castle is the Blue Boy. The Blue Boy is said to haunt a small room in the southeastern wing of the castle and is said to appear as a small blue child with gray eyes. The Blue Boy is said to be the ghost of a young boy who has been playing in the shadows of the castle. Other reports of paranormal activity include disembodied footsteps, doors and windows being opened and closed without explanation, and ghostly figures being seen in the castle's chapel and gardens. Some of the more chilling stories include reports of spectral animals running along the corridors and hallways of the castle. Visitors have reported seeing a white horse and a black dog and cats with glowing red eyes wandering the castle grounds. There have also been reports of a large black wolf that lurks in the shadows, but no one has ever seen it up close or been able to identify it. Rooms are said to become inexplicably cold for no reason, and other paranormal phenomena have taken place. For example, an unexplained chill has been felt in some areas of the castle, and objects have been known to move by themselves or vanish completely. And now to Borley Rectory in Essex, which is said to be the most haunted house in Britain. The mysterious activity associated with the house has provoked fascination for decades, and to this day remains one of the most discussed and debated paranormal phenomena in the world. The story of Borley Rectory began in 1863, when Reverend Henry Bull acquired the building, which had been vacant for several years, and moved his family there. Soon after, strange activity began to manifest itself. Footsteps and other inexplicable noises could be heard echoing throughout the house. Doors would be inexplicably locked, and objects similar to furniture would be seen moving from room to room. More sinister activity soon followed. Residents of the house reported being subjected to threats, screams, and monstrous apparitions, which some believe were the ghosts of former residents. In addition, the rectory was known to attract numerous nighttime visitors and phantom coaches, the drivers and passengers of which were rarely seen. The haunting of the rectory gained national attention in 1929 when the daughter of the Reverend Lionel Foyster and his wife Mary Ann reported that they had been subjected to a terrifying campaign of poltergeist activity. This resulted in a visit from renowned paranormal researcher Harry Price, who quickly amassed a wealth of evidence that seemed to support the Foysters' claims. He concluded that the activity was caused by the ghost of a nun, believed to have been buried alive in the grounds of the rectory in the 19th century. As word of Price's research spread, the entire village of Borley became fascinated by the case. Reports of paranormal activity at the rectory began to flood in from villagers living nearby. Some heard the ghostly screams and experienced other strange goosebumps moments. Others even reported more disturbing accounts, such as the sight of a spectral monk who had been seen walking around the grounds. Some also claimed to have seen the ghost of the nun, who presumably caused the commotion. The activity surrounding Borley Rectory gradually subsided during the 1930s, and in the late 1940s, the house was demolished. However, the stories that originate from the building persist to this day, and there continue to be reports of unexplainable activity in the area. Even now, the case of Borley Rectory remains an unsolved mystery and has been given rise to much debate about the existence of the paranormal. And now we go to Wyaring Manor in Portsmouth, which is said to be haunted by a number of ghosts. It has a rich history of paranormal activity that dates back hundreds of years. For centuries, visitors to the manor have reported a host of strange and unexplainable occurrences, from sightings of ghosts and other supernatural entities to unexplained sounds and sightings of strange lights. In the 14th century, Wyaring Manor was owned by Thomas de Wyaring, the Bishop of York. He is believed to be the first reported residents of Wyaring Manor to experience paranormal activity. According to accounts, the Archbishop was visited by a terrifying spectre, described as a rattling and roaring of iron, accompanied by an awful and frightful shape, vehemently assailing and threatening the said Archbishop himself. Throughout the centuries, reports of spectral beings walking the hallways of the manor and strange lights emanating from windows are just a few of the strange occurrences reported by visitors and residents of the manor. Even more frightening are the accounts of a mysterious black dog that is said to guard the grounds of Wyaring Manor. Some visitors to the manor have reported being attacked by an unseen force after seeing the dog, leading some to believe that the dog is actually a form of paranormal guardian. One of the most famous accounts of paranormal activity is the alleged account of a ghostly figure that appears in the manor's great hall. According to the legend, a spectre figure known as the White Lady was once a regular sight in the main dining hall. The White Lady was said to be a figure of a woman in a flowing white dress who would sometimes appear at certain times of the night. In some versions of the story, the White Lady is believed to be the late Countess of Wyaring, who died in mysterious circumstances and has been haunting the manor ever since. Other strange and inexplainable occurrences include accounts of spirit orbs that flit around doorways and other areas of the manor, and sightings of mysterious figures in portrait galleries. One of the most remarkable is the account of a large ghostly figure that is said to appear only during stormy weather. And now to 30 East Drive in Pontefract, which is said to be haunted by poltergeists. Here lies one of the most infamous locations in ghost hunting circles. This ordinary-looking house has been the subject of much paranormal activity over the years. The story of the hauntings began in 1966, when the family who lived in the house, the Pritchards, began to experience strange and frightening occurrences in their home. From objects being hurled at the family to mysterious icy gusts of wind blowing through the house, the Pritchards thought that their home was haunted by some kind of spirit. One of the strongest sources of paranormal activity in the house was an entity known as the Black Monk of Pontefract. Witnesses have been reporting seeing a tall figure wearing a hood and black robes in the house. This figure has often been seen walking with a scythe and is believed to have been a 15th century monk named Peter. Other witnesses have reported hearing hissing and shouting coming from the walls and voices that echo through the house. The most extreme experience of the Black Monk was when Jack Pritchard's family was allegedly thrown into the air and across a room by some unseen force. Theories for the cause of the hauntings vary and range from the supernatural to the psychological. Some have suggested that the hauntings were caused by residual energy, while others believe that the hauntings are caused by the Pritchards' own fear and anxiety, manifesting itself in the form of poltergeist activity. Some paranormal researchers have argued that the cause of the hauntings may be linked to a ley line that passes through the house. Some others have put forth the notion that the hauntings are caused by the power of suggestion. Despite the many theories, what is clear is that the paranormal activity that has been experienced over the years, both by the Pritchard family and by paranormal investigation teams, is very real. It has become a hotspot for ghost hunters and has attracted the attention of the media. Whether the hauntings are caused by residual energy, a demon monk, or the power of suggestion, the activity that has been reported in the house is definitely worth investigating. Now we turn to the Woodchester Mansion in Gloucestershire, which is said to be haunted by the ghost of a nun. Built in the mid-19th century, the mansion was left unfinished and is said to be the home of a variety of paranormal activity. With a long and tumultuous history, the mansion has been dubbed a haunted house, and many visitors report witnessing strange and unexplainable events while inside the mansion walls. The first reports of paranormal activity began in the 1950s when locals reported seeing strange lights shining from the windows of the mansion after dark. Throughout the years, sightings of hooded figures, dark shadows, and other mysterious phenomena have been reported by visitors to the mansion. Most of these phenomena are believed to be the evidence of the presence of ghosts or spirits. One of the most famous paranormal stories about the mansion is of a phantom coach that runs up and down the driveway at night. The story suggests that the coach is filled with mourning passengers who are headed to a funeral in the gardens of the mansion. Witnesses report seeing the coach traveling with its headlights on. However, when investigated, the coach is nowhere to be seen. Many experts believe this to be evidence of paranormal activity. Another ghostly phenomenon at the mansion is that of a mysterious yet another woman in white. This specter is linked to legends of a woman in a white dress stalking within the walls of the building. Reports suggest that the woman makes no sound and can be seen wandering around the grounds and in the gardens of the mansion, but disappears when approached. Other paranormal activity includes strange noises and voices, as well as the appearance of various apparitions. Some visitors have reported feeling a sense of unease when approaching the mansion, and some have been reported feeling that they are being watched when entering the premises. We go now to the Black Monk of Pontefract, a famous ghost story involving a monk who is said to haunt a local park. It is a ghostly figure whose hauntings are some of the most terrifying on record. The phantom spectre is said to haunt Pontefract Castle in northern England, a castle that dates back to the Middle Ages and is said to be responsible for the disappearances of many unfortunate souls who have dared to enter its walls. According to legend, the Black Monk of Pontefract was once the prior of a local abbey. He was reportedly a cruel and wicked man who terrorized the local people, and when the monastery was dissolved by King Henry VIII, he was said to have cursed the village. Those who heard his final message reported that the priest said, "My revenge will be terrible. I shall return." Some believe that the spirit of the Black Monk has haunted Pontefract Castle for centuries, preying on anyone brave enough to venture within its walls. Reports of anomalous activity began to surface as early as the 16th century, with stories of mysterious sounds, apparitions, and strange phenomena becoming commonplace among the castle's visitors and staff. Some of these occurrences are believed to be the result of the Black Monk's haunting, including reports of a dark figure lurking in the shadows, a hooded figure standing in the windows, and the sound of heavy footsteps echoing through the corridors. One of the most famous tales associated with the Black Monk of Pontefract is that of the disappearing merchant. It is said that a merchant traveling to the castle in 1888 was never seen again. His body never recovered. Many believe that the man disappeared as a result of the hauntings, vanishing into the castle's walls as a victim of the Black Monk's wrath. In 2000, a team of investigators discovered a series of unexplained voices and strange lights. Although they could not confirm the source of the strange phenomena, the group did manage to record several hours of audio evidence that may have been related to the hauntings. The Black Monk of Pontefract is believed to be one of the most powerful and dangerous ghosts in Britain. Although there have been no known fatalities, some have reported feeling a presence in the castle, and many believe that the spectre is responsible for attacks on visitors and staff members. If it is true, then those brave enough to venture within the castle's walls must remain vigilant at all times, lest the Black Monk's revenge be realized. Let us now turn to the White Lady of Worstead, where a woman is said to haunt a church in Norfolk. There have been many tales of ghost hauntings in villages of Worstead, England, since the 16th century. Many locals report that they have seen a mysterious white figure gliding through the trees and along the village roads. A woman clothed in white who is said to be the ghost of the White Lady of Worstead. The legend of the White Lady dates back to the late 1500s, when a young girl, Cicely Bedingfield, died tragically in the forest near Worstead. According to legend, Cicely had been out walking with her lover, a young gentleman from the nearby manor, when a crazed escaped criminal jumped from the bushes. In a fit of rage, the criminal murdered the young man and left the girl's body lying in the forest. Others believe that this is a spirit of some other lost soul, alleging that she died a slow and painful death, and her spirit is seeking revenge. And yet, still others think the White Lady to be a guardian angel, making her presence known to keep travelers safe from harm. Those who have seen the White Lady report a variety of paranormal activity. Some report feeling a chill in the air and having a sense of being watched or followed. Others have reported seeing a hazy white figure in the distance, and still others have reported hearing strange noises like eerie whispers when in the vicinity of the White Lady. What makes the White Lady of Worstead even more mysterious is the number of unsolved mysteries and strange disappearances that have occurred in the area over the years. Reports of people going missing and never returning from their walks have left local residents with a sense of unease and fear. On now to the Devil's Footprints, where a strange phenomenon is said to have occurred in Devon in 1855. In early February of 1855, a strange and unexplainable phenomenon was experienced in the English county of Devon. On the morning of the 8th, a single night's snowfall had descended upon the area, leaving a pristine white covering on the countryside. However, people awoke to an incredible discovery. Thousands of hoof-like shapes had been imprinted into the snow, stretching for a distance of approximately 36 miles. It was as though some large and mysterious animal had lurked through the area during the hours of darkness. Though speculation ran wild exactly had occurred, the most popular explanation came to be the Devil's Footprints. This paranormal phenomenon had a profound effect on the local population, who, as devout Christians, saw the footprints as a form of warning from God. The mysterious tracks appeared abruptly, melting away just as suddenly in the warmer temperatures. It seemed to be the act of a mischievous yet powerful other, one which could not be contained or explained. It wasn't until years later, however, that a more rational explanation began to offer insight into this otherworldly phenomenon. In the 1960s, biochemists and engineers began to offer possible scientific explanations, proposing that the track patterns were caused by a mass ball lightning event. Ball lightning is a weird and fleeting atmospheric event, which typically appears as a glowing ball-like shape and is often accompanied by a crackling sound. It is thought that the dense and relatively low pressure in the Devon area at the time of the footprints could have allowed for a ball lightning to form, with the subsequent atmospheric disturbance causing a mass motioning of the snow, thus leading to the track pattern. As the ball lightning interacted with the atmosphere and possibly dissipated, the tracks could have melted away soon after. This explanation is widely accepted as the most likely source of the mysterious Devil's Footprints. However, this doesn't mean that the phenomenon has been totally explained. Locals recall the strangeness of the event, and some have come forward to describe how the air during the night seemed to be filled with an eerie silence. Even the wildlife had been still, whilst a scientific explanation may go some way to explain the prints themselves. The feelings and atmosphere of the night in question remained something of a paranormal mystery. Now we turn to the Cock Lane ghost, involving a woman who is said to haunt a house in London. The Cock Lane ghost is a phenomenon that has a long and storied history of paranormal activity. It has been said to haunt the Cock Lane area of London since the 18th century. The appearances of this ghost have been described as a middle-aged woman, clad in white, with a spectral glow about her and a phantom canine following in her wake. It is believed that the ghost is that of Fanny Campbell, a prostitute who passed away around the 1760s. According to legend, Fanny had been unable to pay her creditors, and so her body had been left in an unsealed coffin in a common grave. After her death, sightings of the spectral woman began. At first, her presence was not considered to be of any supernatural origin, but rather the result of a cunning con artist. In December of 1762, a man named William Drover was arrested and charged with fraud for pretending to be the dead woman. Drover, however, maintained his innocence, claiming that he was in fact a medium through which the ghost of Fanny could communicate. Eventually, a commission of examination was formed to further investigate the situation. Led by Lord Camden, the commission attempted to test Drover and the spectral woman through a series of experiments. These included having Drover recite a psalm in Latin, which had previously been unknown to him, and drawing a circle in the air, which the ghost had then caused to magically move. Ultimately, the commission voted in favor of Drover and even granted full pardon. Later investigation, led by Horace Walpole, suggested that there may have been a decision in the commission biased by supernatural influence. It was also suggested that the spectral woman was in fact Drover's accomplice in the guise of the ghost. The Cock Lane ghost has since become one of the most famous ghosts in history, with numerous books and television shows dedicated to documenting her existence and the paranormal activity that she is involved in. The area around Cock Lane is still believed to be haunted, and many still believe that the ghost of Fanny Campbell still resides there. Whether the spectre is indeed that of Fanny Campbell or a clever con artist, the Cock Lane ghost has certainly left an indelible mark on the lore of the paranormal. It is an intriguing tale of astute investigation, mystery, and even a hint of the supernatural. Next, we turn to the haunting of Hinton Ampner, involving a woman who is said to haunt a house in Hampshire. Hinton Ampner Historic House is a manor house located in Hampshire, England. It is now in the care of the National Trust and is known for its lavish gardens and grounds. However, it is also known for something else, something far more sinister. It is known for the paranormal activity that takes place there. The most recent owner of Hinton Ampner is Cyril Davenport, who is known for his interest in the paranormal. He believed in ghosts and was convinced that Hinton Ampner was haunted. He collected stories of strange and unexplained phenomena that occurred at the house, including sightings of a ghostly figure that some believed to be the spirit of one of the previous owners. Other strange occurrences also took place at Hinton Ampner that cannot be easily explained away. Objects would move around the house on their own, and visitors have reported a feeling of being watched. Some have even heard the sound of heavy breathing and weeping in the dark hallways of the manor house. For the brave enough to explore further, they report feeling an icy chill in certain rooms and a sense of dread in the air. The scariest stories, however, are those of the apparitions that reportedly appear at Hinton Ampner. Reports of yet another woman dressed in white walking the ground, a figure in a red dress appearing at the window, and the mysterious figure that appears as a shadowy figure in the corners of the room. Next is the Jewel Tower in London. It is an impressive and important part of the city's history, still standing after centuries of history. But recently, this impressive tower has become the center of attention for something else entirely: paranormal activity. For years, people have reported strange occurrences within and around the tower. From the sound of low humming, to unexplained lights, to odd mists forming near the entrance, the tower has become a hotbed of supernatural activity. But the most significant part of this activity is said to be the ghost sightings that have been reported. Many locals and visitors have reported seeing the ghost of yet another woman in white standing by the entrance to the tower, or making her way around inside it. In fact, the ghost has become so common that it has been given the usual name Lady in White. Some people think that Lady in White may be the spirit of a woman who died of a broken heart in the 14th century, and locals believe that she is still lingering in and around the Jewel Tower. They say that when someone looks into her eyes, they can feel a deep sadness and hear her whispers of lament. Aside from her, visitors have reported hearing disembodied voices, and on one occasion, even a strange creature. Rumors claim that the creature is a man-like figure with green eyes, wearing a cape and hood. Fortunately, the figure has not been seen in a while and has moved on from the tower. And now the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall, where a woman is said to haunt a house in Norfolk. The tale of the Brown Lady begins in the 17th century when the Wingfield family resided in Raynham Hall. The Wingfields were an affluent family who often hosted important people such as King Charles I. It was during this time that Lady Dorothy Walpole, the sister of the king, lived at Raynham Hall. Lady Dorothy was said to have been a beauty with golden hair and brown eyes. However, she became embroiled in a scandalous affair with the Earl of Leicester that caused a stir in polite society. It was rumored that she died from a broken heart. It was only in 1835 that the often told tale of the Brown Lady became a reality. A photographer, Captain Frederick Marriott, visited Raynham Hall and snapped a picture of a mysterious figure said to be the spirit of Lady Dorothy Walpole. In the photograph, the woman, who is the only person in the picture, is wearing a brown dress and a luminous veil that covers her face. The photograph quickly gained notoriety when it was printed in the Christmas edition of the Country magazine. The picture soon caused a sensation, with those who believed in the supernatural claiming it was proof of paranormal activity. And now the ghost of the Grey Lady, involving a woman said to haunt a castle in Scotland. This is an ancient legend of Scotland, a mysterious ghostly entity that has been said to haunt various locations across the country for centuries. The most famous location associated with the Grey Lady is the Castle of Inverness, where she is said to appear in the form of a Grey Lady in full regalia, often accompanied by an eerie chill in the air. The legend is said to have begun in the 1600s. According to the tale, the Grey Lady was once a beautiful noblewoman who lived in Inverness Castle. It is said that she was in love with a man of another status, but their love affair was forbidden, and the lady was forced to marry another. This caused her great heartache and eventually led to her becoming a figure of hauntings throughout the area, with people constantly spotting her as she roamed the halls of the castle late at night, still clad in her gray cloak. Since then, the ghost of the Grey Lady is said to have been spotted in countless locations across Scotland, including castles, churches, and other old buildings. One of the most popular accounts of the Grey Lady dates back to the late 1800s, when she is said to have been spotted at St. Andrew's Cathedral in Fife, just south of Edinburgh. Here, the lady is said to have been noticed during a morning service, causing chills in the air and terror amongst the congregation. According to some locals, it is said that she was looking for someone to take away the curse she was under and restore her to the noble lady she once was. To this day, there are still numerous reports of the ghost of the Grey Lady across Scotland. Many people still believe that she truly exists and that her ghostly apparitions are proof of paranormal activity in the country. Whatever the truth is, the lady's legend has lived on for centuries, and her story continues to capture people's imaginations. For all those keen to catch a glimpse of the Grey Lady, it is said that the best time to look is April's midnight hour. Some sources claim that it is that the night washes away her sorrows and she takes to the streets, looking for her lost love and freedom. Whether or not any of these claims are true, the ghost of the Grey Lady has become a beloved part of Scottish folklore and continues to capture people's interest all around the world. Now we turn to the Phantom Coach, which is said to haunt a road in Lancashire. Every night, a huge black coach moves swiftly through the narrow roads and shadows of the Lancashire landscape, leaving a trail of terror and awe in its wake. The legend states that the Phantom Coach of Lancashire is driven by a devilishly handsome driver who is not of this world. The horses are said to be skeletal creatures with bright eyes and a chill in the air. Some say that disembodied voices and screams can be heard from inside the coach. Nobody really knows its origin or destination. It is thought to be an old coach, perhaps from the 18th century, driven by some unknown horse. Over the years, many locals have reported seeing the coach, but no one has ever boarded it or witnessed who is driving it. The Phantom Coach of Lancashire seems to be connected to events in the past. Some believe the coach visits houses where there has been a death, bringing bad luck to the family. Others say the coach may be an omen, warning people of impending danger or foretelling misfortune. Despite the dark reputation, it has served as an inspiration for many writers and artists. The eerie coach has been painted countless times by painters, and writers have woven stories about it in their works of fiction. While it is unknown if the coach is real or a product of fiction and imagination, its tales remain an intriguing part of the English landscape. Each night, as the coach drives past, Lancashire residents keep their eyes peeled for a glimpse of the eerie coach and its eerie occupants. And finally, we turn to the screaming skull of Burton Agnes. Burton Agnes Hall in England is said to be home of a paranormal entity known as the Screaming Skull. It is believed to have been haunting the walls of the hall for centuries and has been the subject of many ghost stories and legends. The story revolves around a man named Sir Henry Strangeways, who is said to have burglarized the property of the hall many years ago. When he was caught and brought to justice, he begged for mercy and was promised that if he returned the stolen item, he would receive forgiveness. Sir Henry Strangeways, however, died before he could fulfill his promise. It is believed that he was so overcome with guilt for his crime that his spirit remains trapped in the hall, unable to find peace. As a result of his death and his guilt, a mysterious skull is said to appear in the hall at times, screaming with the anguish of its unfinished promise. It is said that when people hear the screaming skull, they feel an eerie chill, as if Sir Henry is attempting to fulfill his promise from beyond the grave. Others claim that they have seen the ghost of the skull itself, while still others swear that they have seen a figure moving about the hall in the early hours of the morning. The presence of the screaming skull is believed to cause a strange kind of energy throughout the hall, making it particularly fertile ground for paranormal activity. Many visitors to the hall have a strange sighting. including that of a tall woman appearing in the windows, a shadowy figure of a man near the staircase, and the feeling of someone walking around him in the dark hallway. The presence of the Screaming Skull has made Burton Agnes Hall a popular destination for ghost hunters and paranormal enthusiasts. People come from all over the world to experience the strange energies of the Screaming Skull and to feel its presence in the hall. While the reason for the skull's presence at Burton Agnes Hall remains a mystery, it is believed that Sir Henry's unfinished business is the cause of the paranormal activity. Whether or not the skull can ever be fulfilled, one thing is certain: the presence of the Screaming Skull of Burton Agnes Hall is a phenomenon that will continue to intrigue and fascinate people for many years to come. Ghosts are real and they exist in the UK. What is more, the most commonly reported paranormal activity in Britain involves ghosts and other spectral entities. As strange as it may sound, there is compelling evidence that suggests spirits are present in the UK and have been reported in the form of hauntings, poltergeists, disembodied voices, and other supernatural phenomena. Hauntings are by far the most frequently reported paranormal events, and they usually involve places such as old houses, castles, and businesses. Often, the ghostly activity involves strange noises such as footsteps, creaks, and bangs, as well as furniture moving or items moving on their own. Unexplained noises are also common, as are cold spots, apparitions, and the presence of a disembodied spirit. Another commonly reported paranormal activity reported in the UK is poltergeists. The term poltergeist literally means racketing ghosts and is used to describe the intelligent spirit that causes physical disturbances. Examples of this type of activity include items being thrown or moved around a house, loud thumping noises, and strange smells. A form of evidence in support of the existence of specters in the UK is witness accounts. Many people have reported seeing ghosts, encountering spectral entities in the form of apparitions, and hearing disembodied voices. Numerous photographs and videos have also been taken that appear to capture ghostly happenings. Finally, psychics and mediums in Britain have reported incidents of ghostly experiences in the form of clairvoyant visions and communicated with spirits of the dead. These people claim to have connected with the other side and experienced firsthand the presence of paranormal entities. The fact that so many physics and mediums in the United Kingdom have reported paranormal events adds further evidence to the existence of ghosts. In conclusion, there is mounting evidence that ghosts exist in the UK and that they appear in the most commonly reported paranormal activities. Witnesses have seen apparitions, experienced presences that can't be explained, and heard disembodied voices. Photographs, recordings, and psychics have also reported evidence that suggests the presence of paranormal entities. Therefore, with so much evidence in support of spirits existing in the UK, it appears safe to say that ghosts are real.